So, why men are avoiding going to nightclubs? Modern women are sick of it.
So I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we was talking about how the club isn't fun like how it used to be. And I was wondering, like, where's all the dudes? Um, I don't know, but they're not there.
Yeah, well, clubs in general are boring. This one especially. And I think most men have realized that it's a total waste of time. You find the worst type of women at clubs most of the time. You find the streetwalkers, you find the attention seekers, and you just find the most extreme versions of that when most men are not looking to meet women for that reason. And most of the time, men are looking for a girlfriend or more serious thing. Although some guys chase short-term relationships like that, and you can definitely find that at the club. Dating apps have replaced that now. So why would a guy put shoes on, go to the club, spend hundreds of dollars on bottles and all that just to impress a girl? That same girl is right on her phone right there, swiping on Tinder from a guy that's at home, just stacking leads for his next week. And it's much more streamlined that way. So it's just much easier.
And that's cool, not like I care.
And that's cool, not like I care.
Hmm.
Why is there such a drastic increase in men avoiding the nightclub? I mean, I could give you the politically correct answer if that's what you seek. No, but you demand straight facts.
Give me the bottom line. Give me the truth straight up, no chaser.
Hmm.
The truth is, the modern nightclub is no longer efficient for our purposes.
It's not efficient. As I was just saying, it's not. It's the dating app is easier, and you're gonna meet the same women on dating app that you would in the nightclub. You don't have to get rejected either. What guy likes the nightclub for the nightclub itself? You like the nightclub to meet women. If you can do it more efficiently, what's the point?
I mean, efficiency literally means achieving maximum productivity with minimum wasted effort or expense. Now, if I ask you to calculate all of your recent club experiences, would you deem them efficient? I mean, let's
Mm,
be frank. How much money have
not
you
at all.
wasted for subpar tenderloin extraction? Let's do the math. You and a group of friends pull your money together to lease a booth, a few bottles, and a disease-infected hookah. Be honest, how much baseline tenderloin did you and your squad obtain from this investment?
So I don't know if y'all
And most of the time, you don't get anything, or you get some mid chick, and you spent all that bread. Now, you don't have to do that, but why would you go to the club to just stand around and hope for the best? Volume is typically what makes the difference in dating. Being able to shoot your shot 100 times, 1,000 times is what allows some of them to go in, and then you get the pretty girl. For most guys, that's how it works. So nightclub is the worst place because it's loud too. So it's hard to walk around and talk to girls when it's loud. Number one. Number two, other women are watching you, all of your behavior. So if you're walking around the club, they're gonna be like, "This guy talked to this girl, this girl, this girl," and now it's weird. You honestly, you can't do that. So it's just totally handicapped situation.
saw, but there's this whole discourse going on Twitter talking about why do clubs suck now and why does club culture suck now? And we gonna get into it because I'll tell you why club culture sucks now.
And I finally put some water on my face. I was like, we got grenades, man.
Hmm. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
And I was wondering, like, where's all the dudes? Um, I
Yeah.
don't know.
And this is what you're gonna see. I've been to Colombia, man. I lived there for a few years. This is what you're gonna see overseas in Colombia. You'll see baddies. It's still a club, so it's not ideal, but you're gonna get a way better deal, brother. Way better deal. And why would you go to a club in Atlanta? Why would you go to a club in a major US city when you're gonna spend crazy amounts of money for no reason? And you're gonna walk away with subpar, substandard, most likely nothing. So guys are giving up on it, bro. It makes total sense.
They're not there.
I mean, are we honey badgers or are we peacocks? Do you fully understand the buying power you just exhausted and how much that same investment would yield you in other markets abroad? I apologize, I'm somewhat triggered by wasted assets on subpar women.
The nightlife industry and nightlife culture around the world is slowly dying. Here are 10 reasons why, but also, David, will it ever come back?
Well, here's the thing, is men drive all the spending for all this stuff. So around the world, if men are realizing something, that this is not worth it, the industry will die out because men are the ones that keep nightclubs alive with their spending. Most of the time you go into a nightclub, there's a cover charge for the men, not for the women. Men are the ones buying the drinks, not the women. So if men figure this out, then the business model itself will die out.
A few moments later.
People are primarily saving up their funds for larger festivals or bigger trips, potentially trips overseas to travel.
Yeah, I mean, people are saving up for trips to Latin America, South America, to Asia.
Passport bros?
Passport bros, but also to Tokyo.
Passport bros?
It's smarter. It's smarter. And I will say this. If you are living in Atlanta or a major U.S. city and you're thinking to yourself, I'm tired of going to the club, I'm tired of spending all this money, I think I'm going to just take a trip overseas. Bro, do it, bro. I've never met a guy who regretted it. I did the same thing. I didn't regret it at all. And I don't return to American nightlife. It's just not fun like it used to be when you see what the other side is like. And the Passport Bros movement gets a lot of flack. I don't think it's a perfect movement. I think a lot of guys also don't work on themselves at all. They just buy a plane ticket and hope for the best, which is also really stupid because talk about Colombia, man, them women can be very dangerous. And that's a topic for another video. But going overseas is a great investment in yourself if you prefer uh, a better experience in terms of dating women.
Passport bros, but also to Tokyo.
To this day,
To this day.
modern women cannot give us a clear distinction between a man being assertive versus a man being quote-unquote abusive. Because what's right and what's wrong all depends on if she finds you attractive.
I feel like what you say, the men are different.
They're
The men are
nicer,
much more
respectful now. Because like before, you could like you be dancing, and then after a while you gotta turn back like, who the heck is this? No, I could be pushing back like, he gonna come? Right? Like I hear doing the most work.
Sir, grab
Like,
this wine.
No, but it's true. Even know what they ain't come
But
in
it's
for
true.
wine no more. Like this man love
Even the whole
watching.
touching thing, because I always used to have an SVD and it used to make me so annoyed when you pass people, they gotta touch you.
Yeah, that
especially
too.
the men. Now,
Nobody
They
hands
don't
up,
even
girl.
come at all. I was
Nah.
surprised when somebody
Yeah.
come behind me.
honestly,
It was
they get
very
shy.
shocking.
Well, men have been trained to be different. So let's see what this guy has to say. But we're living in a different time. So women will never realize the effects of our modern day until it's too late. But some of them are starting to realize it now. But we're living in much different times than we have before. So, in general, men try to avoid being the creepy guy because I think that's most guys' worst nightmare is being the creepy guy. And with phones now and how quickly your reputation can spread, somebody can record you, somebody can report you on the internet. For something you thought was cool, the risk is too big. It's too big. So a lot of guys just don't do it, and that's why nightclubs in general are just not worth it.
I'm kind of confused. That you guys sound like you're upset. You don't get
No, because
bum rushed
now,
anymore.
look, when we used to get touched, it was annoying.
You
but
wanted to get bum
no,
rushed.
but you
don't want to get
going
bum rushed.
to the complete opposite side. You need a balance. Don't touch me up disrespectfully.
Right.
Or pull up on me. Pull up. You can just walk.
If you're not her type, then be prepared for those Trey Songz or Cuba Gooding Jr. allegations in the
Women need male attention. It's so fundamental to how they exist and how they feel validated as a person. And so when what those women were complaining about is that they don't feel validated anymore because they're not getting male attention anymore and it's destroying them. It's destroying their ego. Whereas a man doesn't react that way. So it's just things to note for you guys is really start to pay attention to how women need male attention, because that's how we potentially swing things back in the other direction, back to a more traditional society, is we would draw attention away from bad behavior.
The near future.
One man's flirt, depending on how he looks and presents, is another man's sexual harassment.
Yes, yes.
And we are not doing a good job as women being able to explain why it's sexual harassment versus being an attractive opportunity.
This day, to this day.
Men are frustrated. Men are not understanding what is the difference and why am I a threat if I'm being kind to you. So because of your behavior, women, I am now going to pull back my finances and resources. I'm now going to reduce my presence. I'm going to reduce my intentions, my efforts, because I don't want what my intentions are in terms of creating connection with you to be misconstrued as sexual harassment because you don't like how I look. I'm not your type.
The nightclub.
And you never know. You could even be an attractive guy, but you're just not her type. And the point being, I think, is you should always come off a little bit more conservative and respectful. And through experience, you learn what is acceptable to most women and what's not. I don't think you should ever start off touching a woman immediately. What all those women are talking about really is they're not seeing any male attention anymore. And that's really what they want. So learn how to give your attention respectfully, and I don't think there will be a problem for you.
Is not only boring, but it's dangerous. Risking your future for a 200-pound five or a single mother six is next level ludicrous. Oh, wait, it seems like we've just received some breaking news. Cobra is now reporting that Monica Leon, aka Danger from The Love of Ray J, has attempted to jump the wall of no return. Unfortunately, according to eyewitnesses, she's failed. Oh, so close.
We're now going to take you live to the scene.
So I'm actually going to just start documenting because this will be a teachable moment for other victims. Because I'm not the only wife out there that has a debilitating disability that can't get out of her marriage. I'm on my way to the food bank to get food because I have no food in my house because my husband got me fired from my job and...
That is insanity. But see, I don't blame the woman there. Who is her husband? If it's Ray J, I don't know. But if it is Ray J, why would he allow her to get to this level and allow that? And now he's saying that she doesn't have food. So that's on the dude, you know? He's the one who really should be ashamed.
Let me be the first to say our thoughts and prayers go out to another brave post-war survivor. But let's get back to our regular programming.
I'm going to club space by myself, so I'm going to document this whole thing. This is the fit.
A few moments
Club Space is in Miami, by the way.
later.
But I'm just trying to vibe, so like, I don't really care. But something that gives me the ick in space is when someone's trying to talk to me. Like, why are you talking to me? Like, do not talk to me right now. This is not the place for conversation. Like, this is, like, please be quiet.
Right.
I can't stand it.
And this is exactly why guys don't approach. This is exactly why, because half the time they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be talked to. They just want your attention, unless you're that super giga chad, and then they want to talk to you. But this is where the whole like choosing signals thing came from, is like guys saying you got to wait for choosing signals and all that. But that's even hard for most guys to read. It's hard to know what is a choosing signal. You just really have to, I don't think you should wait for a choosing signal. I think you should just learn how to read a woman's reaction to you approaching her. I think you should always be comfortable taking the initiative and just quickly see, is she trying to reciprocate conversation? Is she trying to, carry the conversation? Or is she just letting the conversational threads die out, and then you have to keep asking these inventive questions? If that's what's happening, bro, just exit out, bro. And if she doesn't, let her try to start a conversation up again. If she doesn't want to talk anymore, then she probably doesn't like you, bro. And it's no big deal. And, you go find somebody else. I mean, there's in a club like Club Space. It's pretty big. I've been in it before. It's a pretty big club, but it's like sandwiched together, bro. Like a whole bunch of people. It's really a difficult place to talk, regardless.
I have a question for my millennials or my Generation Xers, really anybody older than Gen Z. What did the club used to be like? What did the club used to be like? Because now, it's sections all over the place. People be acting scared to dance. Everybody just going to take pictures, pop bottles. What was the club like before sections?
I've seen several posts about how the club scene is dead, how people in their early 20s to early 30s are extremely lonely. And I think there's a correlation between those two things. I used to be part of the club scene back in 2007 through 2011. First of all, there was no Bumble or Tinder or anything to that effect. If you wanted to meet people, be it friends or people that you wanted to date, you had to physically get out of the house.
Yep.
When you went to these clubs to interact with people, it wasn't something where you could swipe and text and all sort of stuff. You're physically right there with people. And if you saw a woman that caught your eye, you'd ask her to dance. If you caught her eye, her and her friends would probably be dancing around you, and you guys would wind up, mingling with them at that point in time. But it was magical because you really got a sense of who you were dealing with right in person. You knew.
And that's the benefit of in person. This is why I like cold approach more and meeting people in person more, because exactly what he said, you get more of a sense of who they are up front, whereas the Tinder thing is kind of you're guessing a lot, and you could get catfished. The girl may have 20 dudes that she lined up, which is most of them on Tinder, and it's just a different situation. And the magic of it that he was talking about, there's an element of risk that is enticing to the male psyche, where we take the risk to go to the club, we take the risk to talk to that girl. I still think clubs are, for the most part, not worth it, but meeting women in person is worth it. And so I think guys should still try to meet women in person. I just don't think they should do it at a club.
Knew immediately whether or not you had chemistry with that person because you'd be talking to them and dancing with them for maybe an hour or two. So I really hope that the club scene comes back, because I think that it will be something that benefits people in their early 20s to early 30s, just the way it did for us.
I don't think it will come back, because even when people go out to the club, the other factor is people are on their phones recording. People are looking to social media has made everybody their own little mini celebrity, and they want to broadcast their life and make themselves seem cool. So that's another reason why people don't want to dance. They don't want to seem embarrassing for social media, because they could be the next viral meme if they do something stupid. So everybody's got this celebrity too cool mentality, and that's just a product of the modern social media era. So
But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blasphemy. And although you will never be worthy of a monarch such as myself, Lord Destro would suggest that you poor fools at least give oligarchy a try. So here, Lord Destro has spoken.
okay, so the guy's voice was kind of weird, but overall, pretty good video. I would just say that guys should try to meet women in person. It develops your skills so much. And there is a statistic, I'll pull it up in another video, but there's a statistic about men's testosterone increasing from cold approach. So approaching women in person has numerous benefits. It helps you get over your fear of women too. Uh, the nightclub just ain't the place though. So appreciate you guys tuning in for this video. Smash the like button if you like this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.